You say, no, I want to marry this kind of person. How about you become that person? You know, be the person that the person you're looking for is looking for. Because you ask men and women, who are you looking for? There must be this, there must be this. So you have a list. Okay, so let's say that person on that list comes. What they fit the list perfectly, and then you say, "Oh my goodness, you're the one." And they be like, "Yeah, but you're not the one."
The one. Wow, welcome to Just Angie. It's Lifestyle Thursday. My name is Angie Murenga. I'm joined by Ernest Wamboye. They run the Relationship Center with his wife Waturi, and we're on Baesics, setting the right foundation to marry well. And I love it. You need to wait.
Yes.
Take me through that, Ernest.
So in this section of the book, we tell people, okay, you've gotten your master, you're set, you're walking with God, you're pursuing your purpose, you're about the things of God, okay? And you're in that state where you are now waiting to find a life partner. And we talk about Adam. Adam waited. Adam was in a season where Genesis 2:18, God said it is not good for him to be alone. But between verse 18 and verse 22, Adam has to name animals, Adam has to sleep, a rib is taken. There's a period of waiting. And if you look throughout scripture, you find that the best things came to those who waited on God's timing, right? David was anointed when he was, I think, a teenager.
But he didn't become leader.
To really wait. And even after he got into the palace, he had to wait another 14 years out in the desert before he became king.
Running away from Saul.
Right, exactly. And that waiting is what forged him to be the king that he needed to be. Joseph had to wait. He had the dreams a long time ago, but he had to go through a lot of trouble. That waiting period forged him to be the second in command alongside Pharaoh. If you look at biblical characters who did not wait, look at Sarah and Abraham. They were promised
They birthed Ishmael.
Exactly.
Because they couldn't wait.
They decided to help God. Exactly. And those who don't wait end up getting a second-hand deal. And many a times, God, when we refuse to wait, God does not necessarily speak at times. He just watches, all right? But his silence must not be confused for consenting. So at times
that is so true.
I hear ladies say, you know, I've waited for so long. This guy has come. I mean, he's not a godly man, but he's a good man. So they don't wait on God's timing.
Good and godly.
And good is not God.
You don't understand the difference.
There's a world of a difference.
Between good and godly.
Exactly.
Is it a good idea? Or is it a God idea?
Is it a God idea?
And then, you know, marriage requires God.
Exactly.
How are you going to do it without God?
And so you see, they say he goes to church.
It's sort of settling.
Yeah.
You settle
settling for less.
And you sanitize it and make it safe.
And what you're basically doing, you're doing exactly what Sarah did. You're rushing the process. And many people settle down and they end up getting not what God required. I mean, you get the permissive will of God.
I think what it is, it's also the short-term, short-term fulfillment.
Exactly.
But longer-term issues.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, and that's why I think I took, with the pain of divorce and rejection, it got me into helping people make their marriage better, or make their marriages work, or not leave their marriages, you know, because it's really such a pain that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy.
Yes.
So you may think you're settling now.
Yes.
You have no idea what kind of drama you're going to be in a while.
It's true. I met a man who was dating this woman who was just living a very wild life. He's a godly man, and I told him, you know, you're not equally yoked with this lady. But I said, but I love her. I'm like, that's fantastic, but that's for Hollywood, all right? Are you looking for a life partner? Someone who will do life with together? I said, yeah, I know, she does all these things. And I told her, don't marry that girl. You're going to mess up. And what he did, that he went silent on me. And then the next thing I saw on Facebook, photos, congratulations. And I thought, okay. And 3 months into his marriage, he calls me. Tells me, Ernest.
Even he's brave. He called you.
Yeah.
Me, they don't call me. This year they be too calls. I say,
he called me and he says, hi, how you doing? I told him, you know, you've not called me for many months. I don't think you're calling to say, hey, what's wrong? He comes saying, I can't control this woman. What's wrong?
But you told him.
Yeah, but I told him. He says she comes home at whatever time she wants. She, you know, goes out to her friends, tells me I can't control her. She says she's not a woman who does this. She's not a typical woman. She's a different woman. And I'm just thinking, my goodness, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And I told him, if you waited. You see, he was in a point where he said he was waiting for God's timing, but he felt perhaps the person he's waiting for could not come. And many times we think like that because we don't trust God.
Yeah. Oh, we don't even trust ourselves.
God. Yeah.
Sometimes I think even we do that because we don't feel that we deserve.
Yeah.
Or we could get somebody.
Yeah.
Why would God want to do that for me?
Yeah.
or what's perfect, you know. Sometimes also we settle for what is here.
Yeah.
And
God is faithful. So God is faithful, yeah.
Let's just do it. That's amazing.
Exactly.
And do people ever ask you, because I think, do people ask because they ask me, what do you do while you're waiting?
Oh, good question. So we tell them, one, get to live out your gifts, your abilities, get to explore your purpose to the max. Stretch it to the max.
What if I'm lonely?
Okay, if you're lonely, okay, the waiting process is heading towards the fulfillment of that loneliness. All right.
Yes.
And so you must realize, by the way, you can be very lonely in marriage as well. Huh?
Yeah, very.
You can be lonely in marriage.
Yeah.
And so you must get to a point where, one, you get your ultimate satisfaction from your creator.
That is so
Secondly, you get your fulfillment in life from exercising your purpose here on earth, your gifts, your abilities, your work. All right. And thirdly, you live in anticipation of God's word being fulfilled.
That is so true.
That you actually are hopeful, that you don't give up. You don't look at others. At times you can be on a matatu and other buses are coming, watu wengine wanakuja, but yours has not yet arrived. You don't look at others and feel like God has forgotten you. You must wait hopefully, all right? I saw a meme that said, if God keeps you waiting, do what waiters do, serve.
That's
I think
nice.
the other thing that you need to do is
I
serve
like
in
that.
ministry.
Oh,
serve
beautiful.
God. I think that's the best
be
time.
busy.
Because once you get married,
Serve
I'll
others.
tell you, I really exerted myself mostly in my church, in
Singlehood.
ministry, when I was single, all right? And you need to maximize on that time because it will literally set
me.
you ready for the next season of life, right? So that's what you do when you're waiting.
Let me ask you a question. There's some people who don't even like to go to weddings. I've just thought, because of the aunties. Hey, aunties, gosh, pressure. When are you getting married? If it's a man, when is she coming? If it's a woman, what is wrong with you? Then also, another shocker is even the Christian aunties start saying, it's okay now, it's never that serious. Just have a child.
Yeah.
They have all sorts of things to do in your waiting. How do they overcome that?
All right. So one, don't pull a Sarah. Don't listen to advice that will cause you to help God, so to speak, okay? Secondly, you must understand that not everyone who asks you those questions has ill intent. Your aunties don't wake up in the morning and just say, how shall I hurt her today?
No,
how shall I hurt him today? How shall I ask them questions that will make them feel really, really? But they don't. At times, they just ask out of genuine, out of a genuine, even at times your parents.
So it's also our perspective.
Exactly.
So you're already putting your guard up.
You already think you're being attacked.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
And so you
I've
need
never seen it that
to
way.
change your perspective and actually just imagine, what if they're asking for
the right reasons?
Good? And I think we'll get to understand that when we get our own children and they get to that point and we start asking them questions, thinking, hey, we will also ask these questions. You realize your motives are pure. So perhaps their motives are pure. So give the benefit of doubt. Okay. Then thirdly, understand that the questions will never stop. They'll never stop. As long as we live in this fallen world, in this world you'll have trouble. One of them is those aunties who are asking those questions. So the questions will never stop, all right? Wow. So you need to deal it with grace, all right? And just know how to handle it. And even just, I like what 1 Peter 3:15 says. It says, always be prepared to give an answer. Okay, to anyone who asks you to explain the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect. There's the hope of salvation, but even the hope of God's promises, the hope of what He spoke, that you can be able to give an answer in and out of season, ready to tell anyone who asks that question that, I'm waiting on God's timing. And that it's not just a cliche way of covering these matters in a biblical way.
That's true, but what I like, what you've just done for me is change perspective.
Yes.
Like, think, where is the answer? Why is the question coming? These people just love me. They're not, there's no evil intention in the question. I think that's very important. If we change that perspective and attitude, then it will change. Then you said, be the one.
Yes.
Hey, I like this. Hey, Ernest. Would you marry you?
Hey, I knew you read that.
This is the best. I'm just open randomly. Would you? Would
I
marry me?
I knew that's what stood out.
Now, what? Am I allowed to answer the truth? Would I marry me?
Yeah, would you?
What?
And he Stanley asks, are you the person that the person you're looking for is looking for?
The scripture for tomorrow. Now, that one, now I have to unpack that.
Yeah.
Would I marry me?
Would you marry you?
Because everyone needs to ask themselves that question.
Everyone is looking for the one. How about you become the one? You say, no, I want to marry this kind of person. How about you become that person? Be the person that the person you're looking for is looking for. Because you ask men and women, who are you looking for? There must be this, there must be this. So you have a list. Okay? So let's say that person on that list comes. They fit the list perfectly. And then you say, oh my goodness, you're the one. And they'll be like, yeah, but you're not the one.
The one. And I always even tell them, I say, some people are asking for 6-packs, they have no 6-pack in sight. Others are asking for mansions, they live in another area we cannot even describe. Yeah. The others want to do which car, fuel guzzler. Yeah. And you're walking on your own 2 feet. Why are you asking for something that you cannot bring?
And even on character, I had a lady who told me, Ernest, I need someone who's patient because I'm very impatient and very irritable.
What?
And so I asked her,
why would
God be so good to you
and give you
and
the
so
patient
bad to
person?
him?
Hey, no way. There's no way. But a lot of people are bringing, because I keep hearing that statement.
Yes.
It's sometimes they're just statements that go through my spirit in a season. But I think for me, the biggest question in this season is, what are you bringing to the table?
Yes.
Don't just ask for a seat at the table. When I give you that seat at the table,
yes,
what are you bringing?
And
so what are you bringing to this relationship?
And that's the difference between Christian relationships and worldly relationships.
Wow.
Worldly relationships, Dr. Timothy Keller in his book, The Meaning of Marriage, calls them consumer relationships. A consumer relationship is one where you get in to seek the most you can get,
so
using the least time possible, using the least effort possible. I'm trying to
Wow.
get the most out of
That
you
is so
while
true.
exerting the least effort possible,
It's so true.
and while using the least. I'm trying to just mine out of you. But a covenant relationship is one where you go and you ask yourself, what can I offer you? You give.
Wow.
And because of that, you never burn out. Because of that, you never ever get married and think, nitaboeka kwa hii marriage. But if you're in a consumer
Because even your
relationship,
expectations.
even the idea of getting married is strange and scary to you, because you're thinking, I will run out of ideas, because you're keen on mining instead of keen on giving.
And then so consumer, the product changes all the time.
Yeah.
Consumer, you see, that's why now
Exactly.
that makes sense.
There's always
That's why there's always a new model,
there's new something
new
on the market.
version, highest G, what? Everything is getting bigger, better, faster.
Yeah.
So you can't keep up.
So your eyes can't be constant.
Yeah, no
on the
wonder
person
you'll
you're
also
married.
struggle. You have so many affairs.
Yeah. And
Because
you say,
you're always looking for the next best thing.
Yeah, and when you're confronted, what do you say? I married the wrong one. No, you didn't marry the wrong one. Yeah.
My goodness. Would you marry?
You.
You.
Yeah.
I can't say anything after that, honestly.
Amen.
Would you marry you? I think everyone has to go and do an exercise of, would
Good
you
question.
marry you?
Would you marry you? Yeah.
Yeah, find out all those things. And then also those things that you're saying that you want, are you them?
Yes.
Are you those people?
Yes. Yes.
Have you even done?
Self-audit.
My goodness, self-evaluation. That's powerful. Me, let me tell you, I'm doing an exercise. Or would I marry me?
Yes.
So it's good to look at the strengths, the weaknesses I'm thinking, almost do a SWOT analysis.
Yes.
And who are you really? That's another thing I like about the Bible. There's always times when Paul is asking them, who are you really? Even when Jesus asks them, who do men say I am? But who do you say
that I am?
That I am.
Yes.
Do you have and it's amazing, because we're doing something on leadership the other day, and I was thinking, I think one of the greatest gifts also of leadership is self-awareness. Are you self-aware?
Yes.
Because now the problem with the whippersnappers, I keep calling them whippersnappers, is they're not self-aware. They don't know themselves.
Exactly.
They don't even know what they want. And then you're trying to keep up with the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Me, I'm keeping up with no one. I'm keeping up with Jesus.
Exactly.
Keeping up with Jesus.
Keeping up with the Christians.
I'm keeping up with myself and my Jesus and my calling. But I think
Amen.
that's a powerful way to end.
Yes.
Would you marry
You.
yourself?
Yeah.
Would you marry you? So you go do that before you start seeking, and making demands on God and complaining and threatening and telling him, I'm going to do what? If you haven't provided a spouse by next week, you're not ready. Would you marry you? So Baesics. Go out. Where can they get the book? Because the next one I want to do, the next video I want to do is on another conversation on what I think should be your next book.
Yes.
But where can they get Baesics?
So if they go to Loiter Street and go to the Barclays Plaza, there's a book there, African Book Hub.
Okay.
AfricanBookHub.co.ke with Rosemary.
Yes.
They can get a copy from there, or they can even order it from my website, penstrokes.co.ke. Just click on the book. There's an image there, and then there's a process that you'll go through online, and our courier will deliver it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You better get this book.
Yeah.
Would you marry you? Me, that one is speaking to me volumes. We're on Thursday Lifestyles on Just Angie. See you next week. God bless.